everybody. I don't know if this is working. Yeah, this is working. Thanks for coming. I thought it would be important to have an opportunity to see you, albeit briefly, today, in view of the latest information we have received last night, and still working on that today, regarding the equipment of the agency in Iran. Basically, what we have been informed is that 27 cameras like this. You remember in December we were showing these cameras on a more auspicious time where we were reinstalling cameras. 27 cameras are being removed in Iran, apart from an online enrichment monitoring system that we have over there. This, of course, poses a serious challenge to our ability to continue working there and to confirm the correctness of Iran's declaration under JCPOA. So we thought, just as I announced the set of measures beyond the CSA when this took place back in February, I believe, 2021. Now we are seeing this as being, in a certain sense, dismantled, and of course with possible consequences. So I felt it would be important for me to have an opportunity to confirm this to you. I just informed the Board of Governors about this. Our inspectors will be accompanying these activities over the next few hours in different places in Iran. And we will take it from there. But I'm sure you may have your specific questions on this matter, and I would be more than happy to answer. Yes, François, yes.
François Murphy from Reuters, IDG. Just first of all, just to pin down some of the things that you've just said. So you say 27 cameras are what Iran has told you they're going to disconnect or remove? Remove in the next day, is that what you're saying?
Well, it will take some time. That depends on logistics, because as you know, these cameras are not that we have in Tehran, we have in Isfahan, we have in Natanz, we have in Kondab. It's a few places where we have them, so I don't know. This is a logistical matter. Okay, but they start today.
They start today, okay. And there was, apparently you told the board that there was also other monitoring equipment that was going to be removed. Yes. So which monitoring equipment?
Online enrichment monitoring.
Okay.
And a flow meter.
Okay. And so is this all the extra monitoring equipment that was installed under the JCPOA beyond the safeguards equipment?
Basically all. There might be something. There are still some gray areas we are trying to ascertain. We just got a very succinct communication from Iran last night. And we are trying to go through the details. But the idea is that whatever was beyond the comprehensive safeguards agreement to be removed. But this is the principle. Now we have to see how it's operated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jonathan Tyrone with
Hello,
Bloomberg.
Jonathan. Hello.
Hi, DG.
Hello.
Can you tell us how many cameras will remain under the InfoCirc 153?
Yeah, perhaps not exactly, but 40-something.
40-something. And your characterization of the locations that these will be removed from, it was pretty broad. Esfahan, Natanz, Fort. I mean, is it a sample of all the locations currently?
A sample of all the locations.
Can you tell us where the cameras are going to be removed from?
Everywhere where, according to the CSA, we need to be inspecting. So it is this plus a few more.
Right. Those are the CSA ones are going to stay. Where are the ones that are being removed coming out of?
Natanz, we have some. Esfahan, we have some. Tehran, we have some. Kondab, we have some. You must remember that these cameras are placed in places that are related to some centrifuge part assembly, production, R&D without UF6, and things like this.
Right. Sorry, just one last question. And so, does this categorically end any possibility of you being able to reconstruct this continuity of knowledge, talking point that had been used over the last year? You've done a lot of work.
I understand.
Yeah.
If you put it like that, I would say no, but very close to that. Very, very, very close to that. I think the window of opportunity is very, very, very small.
Hello, DG Grossi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm Ahmed Samadi from Iran International
Yes.
TV. I have two questions. First question goes to the last night resolutions approval. After the resolutions, Board of Governors resolutions, Iranian officials linked this resolution to your trip to Israel. I want to know your comment about this Iranian reaction. And second is, today sources in Iran announced Iranian officials are going to increase production and installation of the IR6, IR4, and IR2M centrifuges. I want to know, is the agency informed about it? And if yes, what's your comment about it?
Not yet. Well, there are many things that you are asking. First of all, the resolution is a matter for member states. It's a decision that they take. They don't do these things because the DG goes and tells them, please put forward a resolution or don't, etc. It's typical that there is a lot of speculation about these things. And least of all, a resolution would be linked to the visit of the Director General to another country. So I think this is a construction which is very strange. But anyway, I respect opinions. On the possible additional activities, we haven't been informed yet. We know that there has been for some time a plan to install a new capacity and to increase installed capacity. So as soon as we are informed, we have to actually report this formally to the Board of Governors, and we will do so immediately. And today I will issue a report on this issue of the removal of the cameras today.
Thank you.
Nazafarin Mirza Khalili
Hello.
from Hello, Radio Free Europe. So at your previous press conference on Monday, you mentioned that Iran is very close to reach enough material to produce atomic bomb.
Yes.
It's like some weeks or so. So how do you assess the situation right now after all this?
Well, in terms of the capacities, there's nothing that happened between Monday and today that would affect that quantitative assessment. What we are seeing is because of the decision that is been announced to us today, is a decrease of the visibility that the agency is going to have about what's happening in Iran. And of course, this is something I deplore. Hello.
Raghida Bahnam from Al Arabiya. You spoke in your introduction about consequences to what just happened. Can you elaborate more? What kind of consequences do you mean? And can I just confirm one last time, how many cameras still exist in Iran for the IAEA under the JCPOA?
Well, as I told Mr. Taron, it's more than 40, around. So in terms of consequences, I don't know exactly what you mean. What I think is that what we see is that we are in a very tense situation with the negotiations on the revival of the JCPOA at a low ebb, if I can put it like that, with our bilateral process with Iran on the clarification of a number of outstanding issues not being successful so far. Now we are adding this to the picture. So as you can see, it's not a very nice one. My obligation is to persevere, to continue proposing solutions and to continue to propose that we work together with Iran. But quite clearly, it's not one of those good days. It's not.
Setsuko Inaki, Nippon Television. I have two questions. One is a technical one. Can you explain a little bit more about the online enrichment monitor and another fuel monitor? That's question number one. And number one, and number two is that you in Monday's press conference, you told us that it's very close that Iran is going to, from the quantity-wise, go over the threshold, and you added that it is even more so necessary that IAEA give you an access. And what's happening right now is completely the opposite.
Well, it goes in the opposite direction. What we are trying to is to bring more clarity, to bring more clarification at a moment where this is needed. As it was mentioned just now, there are plans to increase production, to increase volume of production, to have more installed capacity. So we believe that this runs contrary to the idea of providing more mutual confidence. We'll see. I think my intention, as I said in my report, and I hope just said to the board that I am ready to, and I invited Iran to engage with me immediately to try to look at what we can do together in order to prevent a situation where we will be even further apart, which is something that would be very, very bad. On the technical parts, these are systems that we had in addition, which are important to verify the amounts of enriched uranium. It's added technical, apart from cameras, we have other ways. Apart from the physical, you have the physical inspections, you have the cameras, but you also have systems that can identify the flows, for example, of liquids or the amount of enriched material, and can send this information online to us. So it's added systems, the data transmission systems that the agency has to complete the full picture.
Sorry, DG. You said that there's a short or very short window of opportunity to essentially, if I understand you correctly, to maintain a chance of restoring continuity of knowledge. Apparently, you told the board that it's a period of 3 to 4 weeks.
Yes.
And what happens after that then? Where does that? What would, if you went beyond that period? Where would that leave you in terms of how you would be able to describe your verification?
If we were at that moment, in that position, if there was a return to the JCPOA, or an attempt to return to the JCPOA now or in the future, the agency would not be able to give a service to the parties in terms of telling them what the baseline is, where they are. So it can be whatever. So unless the agency can say, these are the quantities, these are the volumes, and from here you can determine what you want to reduce, how we can verify that. When we lose this, well, then it's anybody's guess.
And then just more specifically, do you know what's going to happen to the data that's been collected over the past more than a year and is still with Iran now?
Not clear.
Not clear. Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I have one more question. You said that some of the cameras that were removed were from places that used to monitor where centrifuges were being made. So now do you think that Iran can make new centrifuges without IAEA being able to verify that and without knowing?
Yes.
And what would be the consequences for that?
Less transparency, more doubt, uncertainty.
Okay, and are you talking to the Iranians asking for another trip to Tehran? Is that a plan?
Well, I really hope that we can do this. I think we need to do this. We had a process, we had agreed on a process. The process did not produce the results that we were hoping it would. So nobody should be, people are, especially in Iran, some people are very angry because I'm saying this, but this is the truth. The reality is that we were not able to come to a successful outcome. There was no clarification. Does this mean that this is the end of the line? I think it shouldn't be the case.
You don't have an invoice?
Not yet.
You don't have an
Not
invoice?
yet. I hope to have one soon.
You asked for one? You asked?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
You will not?
Huh?
You will not?
You know, as I always say, you know, I don't make this an issue of pride, who asks. I'm always ready. You know, the DG is at the service of member states. So I'm always ready. I hop on a plane, I go if they want to see me. If they don't want to see me, then there is another problem. But let's hope that emotions, you know, go down a little bit and that we focus again on the problems, because the problems are not disappearing. And if we add to the problems less visibility, less access to the agency, then I don't think we are solving anything. We are aggravating everything. That's my impression.
Just briefly, going back to the continuity of knowledge, you discussed just now the baseline and how you'd be unable to verify against the baseline. But surely you could establish a new baseline. So what you're really saying is if this 3 or 4 weeks go by and there is no JCPOA, but a JCPOA is agreed in 2 months from now, you'd have to create a new baseline.
Well, that's a lot of speculation, Jonathan. In between.
Well, I'm just asking you.
If that were to happen, when we say 3-4 months, weeks, is because we know the production capacities, we know the systems, we know the facilities, we can have some projections. So when my experts tell me, well, this is beyond this, we cannot really know. So if you were to have a situation where you could revive the JCPOA later on, then you would have to see, look at the declarations, go, compare, do a thorough review of the whole thing and see whatever is.
But that's what you do here, isn't it? Is that's what you do on a normal? So the agency's services would not be available to the partner to the parties of the JCPOA after 4 weeks.
We wouldn't be able to give them the accuracy that they require.
So the JCPOA is dead if it's not done within the next 4 weeks.
I think this would be a fatal blow.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And we see each other soon, I hope. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.